In this video, we're going to build entire homepage user interface with the Tailwind.css. We're going to also make the homepage fully responsive. We're going to also adjust the roles so that guest users will not be able to access the homepage. Okay, now I'm going to start working on the UI part, and I'm going to create our social media website main layout. And I'm going to have the left side. So I'm going to change this home page basically. If I just access to the home page. So this is something where I'm going to change. If the user is not authenticated, first of all, user must be redirected to login page just to authenticate. Once the user is authenticated, then user will see something right here. Okay, and that something should be on the left side. I want to show the groups the user has joined. In the middle, we're going to see all the posts from between different groups and between the followers of that user. And on the right side, we're going to show the list of the users. Okay, and at the top, we're going to have this create new post section. Okay, now first, if the user is guest, right now I'm authenticated, but if the user is guest and just trying to access the home page, we should redirect user to the login page. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to also remove this dashboard section because this is not actually how I want it. Let's go to roles, and I want to, first of all, let me commit all these changes. So we have installed this Sluggable and implement the username creation and update. So implement username create and update on user. Okay, cool. Let me close everything. We will go into rules and web. And let's have a look. So this dashboard is only accessible for the verified users. The home page is accessible to everyone. Okay, so I think that the home page should be accessible for verified users only. And the dashboard is something we don't even need probably, but the home page is, I think, fully blade. I think this is blade. I think this is welcome, but is this the welcome blade or welcome view file? Let's just have a look, trying to understand. We have this welcome. Okay, I think this is welcome inertia render, so it's obviously welcome view file right here. So we're going to work this inside the welcome and maybe rename this into home. And in terms of views and resources, this welcome blade, I think this is not used anywhere. What about up blade? I think up blade is used because that's the main inertia layout. But the welcome is something which is old and it's not used. So I can delete this welcome blade. Okay, then I'm going to call this home instead of welcome. So this is our home. And that home should be accessible for verified users. Let's do like this. And if you're a guest, it will redirect you to the login page. Now, if I reload, I am able to see the home page. If I open this in incognito, I am redirected to the login page. Okay, this is how it's supposed to work at the moment. This is how I think will be correct. The dashboard is something we can completely delete. So I will delete this dashboard view. Blade, I can just close that. And I can delete the dashboard from here as well. So reload, it doesn't work, I think because it is using the dashboard. Road dashboard doesn't exist. Yes, in the home page it is using road dashboard, which does not exist. So I will just remove that link. There is this if, and there is this else as well. This else is just to open the login and registration pages, which I can completely remove. Okay. Okay. Cool. Now let's open this home page, and I'm going to work right here. Let's go to the web PHP, and this homepage accepts can login, can register, Laravel version, and PHP version. But I don't want any of that information. There was this dashboard which just was calling the inertia render. So there's no controller right now created for either dashboard or homepage. So what I'm going to do is just create the controller, home controller. So I'm just going to close this npm run dev and execute php artisan make controller home controller. Let's hit the enter. The home controller was created. Let's execute npm run dev again. And now let's go into app http controllers home controller. And I'm going to create public function here, index. We can accept request, and we can return inertia render from here. Inertia render home. Obviously, we are going to pass some information, but right now we can leave this as it is. I will go into web, and I'm going to replace that function with home controller class index. Okay, it has middleware, and I'm going to give it also name, which will be home. I'm going to just replace this fully qualified namespace name with the import. So right here, I will have that app HTTP controllers home controller imported. And now if I just reload this page, this is the home page. If I go in the home page, this is something I'm going to work right now, but I will just delete everything from here. So this is it. In terms of title, I can just call this social media website and test. This is it. Okay, this is my website. I will just remove everything from this tile. And in terms of props as well, I will not have any props right now. I will define them later. Right now, I'm just going to work on the markup side. Okay, so we have this npm run dev running, and we can start working, defining and working on the layout. Before I start working on the layout, let's again comment all the things what we changed. Clean unnecessary roles and view files. Okay, I'm going to open Tailwind.css documentation as well, because I might need to remember some things. And I will start with the grid. At the end of the project, we are going to deploy this on shared hosting using GitHub Actions. As a choice of hosting provider, we're going to use Hostinger, who is very kindly sponsoring this entire project. Hostinger is one of the best shared hosting providers out there. I discovered their services about 3 years ago, and I moved out all my PHP websites from VPS hosting of another hosting provider into Hostinger's shared hosting. There are several great benefits. Very fast and secure servers, full configuration on your PHP versions, extensions, and settings. Nice and modern user interface from which you can manage your domains, DNS, SSL certificates, emails, and much more. Integrated SSH and Git support. Affordable prices. And if you are not happy with their services, they also offer 30 days money-back guarantee. Their premium and business hosting includes free domain, support for 100 websites, unlimited number of certificates, and much more. For a full list of features, visit website hostinger.com/thecodeholic or click on the link in the video description. If you decide to grab hosting, during checkout use coupon code THECODEHOLIC, which will give you extra 10% off on already discounted price. And thank you Hostinger for sponsoring this entire project. Grid template columns. Okay, and this is what I'm going to start with. Okay, I think I know how I'm going to do this, so I will start, and then if I need, I will just have a look in the documentation. So I'm going to provide grid right here. I'm going to create gap as well, like 3, and let's provide grid columns. Let's give it 12. Okay, let's define the 12 column system. Then I'm going to have the left side, which is going to be the group side. So here I'm going to have groups, and that should have grid calls, let's say 3. Then I'm going to have the main section, post section, which will have grid calls 6, and I'm going to define also friends or followers section, which will have grid calls 3 again. So we have the 12 grid system. Okay, I'm going to save this and have a look. This is not on full width. Grid calls 3. Okay, it should have call span. Call span. Okay, I need to search for call span. Call span. Where's call span? Call span 2. So this should be, instead of grid calls 3, that should be call span 3. That should be call span 6, and that should be call span 3. That doesn't seem to be working. If I change something, is it working? Yes, this affects. Okay, let's inspect and have a look. Well, is any of the Tailwind.css classes working? Like BG Gray 100. Does this work? Well, it does not seem to be working. Okay, it looks like there is no Tailwind CSS in this file included, isn't it? What about profile? Is there Tailwind CSS in the profile page? I think it is. Okay, still dashboard is used in the profile page, so I will open this edit and search for dashboard. Maybe I can search for dashboard in everywhere. Aha, so we have this authenticated layout. And we have this root service provider, and we have this authenticated layout. So in this authenticated layout, I'm just going to remove this dashboard. And maybe, just to make it very simple, instead of giving this name home, I will give the name dashboard, and everything will start working. Hold on. So this one has background gray. So obviously Tailwind CSS is working. Where is it? However, call span 3, call span 6, call span 3. Okay, I think call span is something call dash span dash 2. How did I write that? Call span. Yeah, it has been quite some time I developed on Tailwind.css, and yeah, we have that as we should have it. Now I'm going to start working on the group section. I'm going to define h2 my groups, and then we're going to have one div which will write you are not joined to any groups, and another div will be inside which we're going to iterate over our groups. Okay, so this is going to be each group item, and we're going to have the group thumbnail. So this is div, and we're going to have one image for the group thumbnail. Maybe let's give this one grid or flex. Let's give it flex, and we're going to have image. I will provide some URL to that image, and we're going to have a div which will contain the group information. We're going to have the group title. That's going to be, let's call this Laravel developers. That's going to be the group title, and small paragraph lorem ipsum something, but it should be very small, like this. Okay, so this is just one group. Random image. I want random image. Here we go. Let's copy this. I'm going to provide it here, but let's give it width of 100. Okay, this is just one group. I'm going to duplicate this, and that's going to be vue.js developers, and yeah, two is enough. Okay, so image is obviously very, very large. So let's provide style, or we can provide class width of 64 pixel. Is it too much? Let's see. Maybe it's too much. 48. This one should have align items center or items start. The autocompletion of Tailwind.css does not work as I expected, to be honest, which is something I don't like. Items start. Let's give this image rounded full. Not bad. Let's give this one gap of 3. Not bad. Let's give this Laravel developers font weight 600. Font bold. Font black. And font or text 2XL. What's the text size? Text size, font size, text LG, text-LG. Maybe extra large. And let's give this one text small. Okay, and let's give this one also margin bottom 3. Okay, if I duplicate this right now and just change the text into vue.js developers, we have two groups on the left side. This text, you are not joined to any groups. So we are going to see either this or that. So I'm going to use the if right here, true. If it is true, then we're going to display that. Otherwise, we are going to display it. So in this case, we see that you are not joined to any groups. Let's give this one text 2XL, font bold. Okay, so we probably need some sort of padding. So padding Y, let's give it 6 and padding X 3. Okay, so then you want to join to any groups. I'm going to give this one text gray 600. I'm going to give it flex and text center. Okay, let's have a look. And padding Y, maybe 8. Okay, you want to join to any groups. This 600 is probably should be reduced to make it even more gray. You want to join to any groups. Okay. If I set this into false, then I will be able to see all the groups. This padding Y6 is something which should be given to that container as well. So if I set this into true, we see large padding here. But if I set this into false, I don't see this large padding. So what I will do is just take this padding 8 and create one extra div area here, and I'm going to give this padding 8 to that div, and both you are not joined to any groups and all the groups as well. I'll put this inside that div. Okay, now those are my groups. Cool. I'm going to make that text gray 400. Let's give it 500. And maybe we should even reduce text excess, the font size. Okay, I'm going to create a component for this group. In the JS components, I have a lot of components actually, but those are components which come with the Laravel Breeze and Inertia's default installation. So I will create a new folder called app, and I'm going to put my components inside there. That's going to be group item with the composition API. Let's grab this, actually, it should be this, and paste it right here, format the code. We're going to define props, and I'm going to have, well, I can accept the group, entire group, or I can accept image, which will be string. I can accept title, which will be string, and I can accept also description, which will be again string. Now I will use this image here. I will use title here, and I will use description here. Now I will go to the home page and I will try to use group item. I'm going to provide image, which will be that random image URL. I'm going to give it title, which will be Laravel developers, and I'm going to give it a description. Let's move all of them on its own line. The description will be lorem ipsum something. Okay, so this is one group item. I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to delete this content, and this will be just vue.js developers. Okay, now I have the same two components. However, I'm going to go inside this group item and I'm going to make this a clickable. Okay, so this should be, these should have on hover, I'm going to give it bg gray 100. Actually, we already have, let's give it also cursor pointer. We already have this bg gray 100 on the group section, so I will just remove that. And now when I mouse over on this, it changes the color. However, the padding is not nicely set on this element on which I'm doing this hover. So there are two options. Either I will create one more div and wrap everything there, and I will give this flex and gap to that div, and also I will give it padding y to padding x3 classes, in which case this is how it looks like. Probably I should just change this color, the size. I think this is good, at least like not bad. So this has width of 3, this has width of 3, and we have the main content which will have this width of 6. I think this is looking good. Okay, I also have a very scaled up screen resolution right now. If I zoom this out, it will be something like this. Okay, I'm happy with that. In the home page, we have this group. I'm going to give this one also padding x3. And if I set this again to true, you are not joined to any groups. This will need the padding x3 as well. Okay, I'd rather just stop spending time on that such minor things, because that's a design which generally is planned for a very long time. My main purpose is just to create the functionality with some decent design things, not very ugly. Okay, so I have this my group section. I'm happy with that. I can live with that. The only thing I would probably do is just to search for the groups. I think we have that component, input text input component. So I will use a text input component right here, which will accept some modal value. And for this, I need to define const group search, or maybe I need to create a separate component for the groups section, entire group section. So I will grab that and I will create new component. Let me actually undo this. I will create new component, group list. I'm gonna paste this here, and then const search keyword equals ref an empty string. Let's import ref from vue. And I'm going to provide, inside the modal value, I'm going to provide that search keyword. If I go on the home page, I need to now use that group list. Here we see that. I will also slightly reduce that into 32. This group logo, and maybe reduce the gap as well, and horizontal padding as well. The search field, we can give this one some placeholder. Does it have the placeholder support? Template. No, it doesn't have placeholder support, which we can add. Placeholder must be string. I will take that placeholder and provide it here. And from the group list, I'm going to provide placeholder to be type to search for groups. Type to search. Let's just write type to search. It should also be reduced, probably. The size should also be reduced. And I'm also thinking that we should give some horizontal padding to everything. So this is on the left side, this my group is at the top. So I will make everything aligned properly just by introducing new div, give it class padding x3, and put everything inside that div. Margin bottom of 4. Okay, now I will go into the followers section and I will do something similar. In fact, I can actually duplicate this group list and I will just call this follower list. Okay, now let's call this my friends. You don't have friends yet, which seems very sad that you don't have any friends yet. This is going to be John Doe. This is going to be, I want Elon Musk to be my friend in this social media website. Actually, we should change this group item into follower item, or we can just call this friend item. I'm going to copy from the group item. I'm going to copy everything to friend item, and I will just change the description. The description is not necessary, so I will just remove that description. This is friend item, and if I go in the follower list, I will just change this group item into friend item. Whenever I write some component right here, my PHP Storm automatically imports that for me. Okay, so this is something very, very important you to notice, because if you have any issues and the component doesn't exist, that's because if you are not using PHP Storm, your VS Code or something else does not automatically import the component when you start typing. So the group item is automatically imported. Friend item is automatically imported for me. Again, I delete this friend item, group item, both. And I will change this into friend item again and hit the enter, and that was automatically imported for me. Now I will go in the home page and I will use friend. Okay, hold on. So we called this outer component follower list, but this is friend item. Not very good. So this should be, well, it depends what I'm going to display on this section. Followers. So these, who are followers going to be? The users who is following me, or the users who I am following to? So that should be users I am following to, because if I am following to, I am interested in their stuff. Okay, not the users who is following me. That's something else. So that should not be probably called followers, but I should probably call these my followings. And that should be not followers list, but following list. And that should be not friend item, but that should be following item. And inside this following list, I'm going to use following item, which again will be imported by PHP automatically. Now I will go on the home page and I will use following list here. And I will see my friends, type to search, John Doe, Elon Musk, and these are my followings. I will go into follower list and I will following list, and I will open this following item, and I'm going to increase the gap between, and probably also remove this text, and items center is something how I'm going to do it. So these are my friends, these are my groups. Also there is this padding Y and padding X, which I'm going to add right here as well. This padding X, is this something necessary? I think this is not necessary anymore, because we added that inside this group list. Okay, cool. Now we're going to define the post section, and let's create a separate component for this as well. Composition API, I'm going to hit the post list. Okay, what I'm going to do here is div. I'm going to have one div inside there that's going to be to create new post. Then I'm going to have a list of posts. How this create new post should look like. We are going to have one text area, probably, or one like an input section. Whenever we click on that, it's going to open dialog, maybe modal, where we have to upload some images. We will have possibility to upload some images, provide some text, and hit on submit. So that's going to be kind of a placeholder section. Either we can show this inside the dialog, or we can have an inline section. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to create a new component for that, and I will call this create post. Okay, and I will create another component, post item, as well. And we probably need post list as well. Do we have post list? Yes, we do have. Okay, in the home page, we're going to show create post component and post list component. Let's open this create post component and post list. First, I will open this post list component, and I will just write post list goes here. then create post component, and let's do like this. I'm going to have not text input, actually. I will just use input or text area. Let's use text area, but actually we should have rich text section. So I will do like this. I will just have a div. Click here to create new post. Okay. Let's give this one some vertical padding. Click here to create new post. We are going to have actions. Let's have one button. Attach files, and another button will be submit. Okay, there are no stylings applied right now. And I want some ready CSS so that I don't spend time on this button CSS. So I will open Tailwind.css.com and go into components. And we should have some free components right here. Form layouts. I will click on this form layouts, and yeah, it's something like this. And we should have buttons as well. Here we have these cancel and save buttons, and we also have this dark mode. Cool. I want to get the code. Actually, what if I try to make this dark mode? Okay, first let me continue, and then maybe we can try to switch this into dark mode. I will grab this vue.js code. Actually, I want to get the button. So this is the button. Submit button. Okay. We need this attach files as well. But this attach files is not like a normal button. It should have inside there input type file, which should have position absolute, left 0, top 0, right 0, and bottom 0. It should have opacity 0 as well. And is it disabled? If I just click on this button, it triggers this file upload, but the color is different. If I remove this input type file, the color goes back. Okay, let me just leave the opacity. Okay, I should give this button position relative. Once I give it relative, then I see input type file inside there. Okay, and then I need to give this opacity 0. Now I click on this and that triggers the file picker. I want this to be a different type of button. Maybe this one, which also should trigger the form, the file choose picker. Anyway, this is my biggest disadvantage in my opinion. So I spend too much time on such tiny things. I should rather do the focus on the functionality. Okay, let's give this one some class padding Y 3, padding X 2, maybe text gray 500. I'm going to give this also border and border. Oh, well, let's give this rounded. Margin bottom 3. Let's give it slightly darker. Border gray 200. Maybe 300. Click here to create the post. Okay, as soon as I click inside, it should show this rich text editor. And the buttons should not be even visible until I click inside. So I will create right here constant. Actually, I can do like this: constant, no need to indent, constant post creating, and let's import ref from this view, and PHP Storm did that. Post creating, I'm going to set this into false. As soon as I click on this, so I listen to click, and I'm going to set post creating equals true. If the post creating equals true, then the buttons should become visible. Oops. Post creating. Okay, now this is it. I click inside there, the buttons become visible. And there should be gap between the buttons, so I will give it flex and gap of 2. And justify between as well. Attach files and submit. Reload the page. Buttons are not visible. Click here to create new post. I click on inside there, then this will appear. Okay, that's not bad. Now I need possibility to also display the rich text editor right here. But I will do this when I actually start working on the post creation process. So let me define the layout design for each post item. Inside the post list, I'm going to have a couple of post items. Post item. And each post item should receive the entire post field. So I will define, not in the template, but in the setup, I will define props, and I'm going to accept post, which will be object. Okay, then from the post list, I'm going to use this post item actually 2 times, and I'm going to define post 1, which will have image, not image actually. Okay, this is something which we need to think before we do anything. So what information are we going to display? I'm going to have the information about the owner of the post. Okay, so we need owner. John Smith, let's say. Or maybe the owner should be an object which should have ID, the user ID, and name is that. Maybe we can call this user. Okay, we're going to have body. That's going to be a long text, okay, with some paragraphs inside as well. Lorem ipsum something, even maybe multiple paragraphs can be inside there. So I will format it like this. Okay, we have this large body. And we are going to have also created it when the post was created. 2023 11 19, and the time, let's say 1512, whatever, the time when the post was created. We will also need group information inside which group the post has been created, which might be null as well. So I will make this null first. Yeah, we need the user avatar as well. Random user avatar. How can I get this? I think I just need to open, just grab that and paste this right here. Okay. Cool. This is the post 1. So I'm going to give this post 1 into the post item. Let me actually work on this post item first for the post 1. We're going to have one global div. Then we're going to have the header section, and that header section will contain the image, the avatar. So let's provide source post user avatar. Okay, we are going to have also the user. Let's write this into H4. Post user name. Okay, this is the header section. Then we're going to have the body section, but because body contains HTML tags as well, just outputting post body will display HTML tags as well. Let's have a look, make sure that it doesn't work as we want. Here we go, we see these pre-tags. So I'm going to use vhtml right here and provide post body. Okay, now we see this properly. Let's align this image and the name properly. Align items center. Let's give this image width 32 pixel. Let's give this one also rounded full and gap of 2. Okay, so that user with this name, let's give this font bold as well, made the post, and we're going to also show at what time the post has been made. So we're going to have this image, and then we're going to have a div inside which we will have the user name and the time when the post was made. So post created at. I'm going to make this small. And let's give this one text gray 400 maybe. Let's increase slightly the image, 40 pixel. Okay, and this image as well as the title should be clickable, and that should go to the user profile page. So for now, I am going to use these A tags for now, and we'll provide href JavaScript void 0 like this. And we should have something similar here. Remove extra new lines. Cool. So that should be, that's actually links right now. The text, if the text is too long, we should not show it immediately, right? Instead, we should show read more with collapse and expand. This is the header section. Let's give this one margin bottom of 3. Post item. I mistakenly closed the post item. Okay, now let's give this one some height and implement collapse and expand. But instead of doing this manually, is there any like collapse example here? I just want to save some time. What is this? Okay, this is not what I want. I'm going to install this headless UI, which I have used in previous projects, and this is just the functionality without design. But it is you can basically apply to any design you want with that, but that's a headless UI functionality for JavaScript related components such as the dropdowns and list box and combo box, dialog. Disclosure, I think, is exactly what we want right now. So what I will do is first go to the GitHub link and install this headless UI for the vue.js, the latest version. So I'm going to get that, bring up the terminal, just stop the Vite server and paste this and hit the enter. Okay, then I will go back and click on code, and here we have this disclosure, which I think does the job, and there's this chevron up icon as well, which comes from the hero icons. This chevron icon is that arrow, which I don't need, so I'll just copy that disclosure part that was installed. So I will start the Vite server with npm run dev. And here we have that body. Well, I need to wrap this in a new div and move this div inside. And then I'm going to paste this disclosure. Give me a second. What is this? This is the React version. Excuse me. I need Vue version code. Excuse me. Here's the disclosure. So I will get this. This is just one disclosure. So I'm going to copy that and paste here. And I will need to import, let's scroll down below. I will need to import this disclosure button, and the disclosure panel. The hero icons is something which I can remove. I'm not using it right now. Okay, we'll move up and import them. Now, these classes are imported. The hero icon is something I can remove. And let me actually test if this works as it should work. Okay, this opens and collapses. Awesome. This disclosure button is what does this expand and close. So in our case, and this is the disclosure panel. So I'm going to put this body, let me change this into self-closing tag like this. And I'm going to put this body inside disclosure panel. Okay. Cool. This expands and closes. I will remove any kind of styling from here, from the disclosure panel. So we have the default version. And I need to change this into read more. And I'm going to remove all those stylings as well. That's the beauty of the headless UI. So you can completely change that functionality. And I will move this read more down. So now we have this read more. I click on this, it closes. I click on this, it opens. Okay, this one needs to have text blue, maybe text blue 500, something like this. Read more. We also want to show the first 3 lines maybe, or something, and then we're going to click this read more to just see everything else. Right now this disclosure completely shows and hides everything. Is there an example to show parts? Okay, what's this? Use the static prop to the disclosure. As always, render in the open state is ignored. Okay, will this display always disclosure panel if I provide static on it? Yeah, it always displays that section. Okay, if I have 2 disclosure panels, something like this. Okay, let me think if this is going to work. Or maybe I can have just this post body. I can take substring from 0 to first 100 characters from here. Okay, then I will have this horizontal line, and then we have everything. And I also want to print what is this open. Now this is false, it's true, false, true. Okay, let's remove the static from here. And now this is how it's going to work. So if it is open, we're going to show read less. Otherwise, we're going to show read more. The read less, read more. Cool. Let's remove this. By default, I show the first 100 characters only. I can change this into 200. Let's remove this HR. And we have this read more, which I'm going to move, by the way, to the right. Let's put this inside div, which I will give flex justify end. Okay, so I will see first 200 words, then I click read more, and it should show me everything. So whenever it is opened, I need to close these first 200 characters, so not open. So I will only show these first 200 characters when this is not open. As soon as this opens, I will show the entire content, but this will get hidden. So in this case, I will have this read more, read less functionality. Your support is the most important thing for me. So the single best thing what you can do right now is to pause the video, hit the subscribe and the like button, and continue watching. I would really appreciate. Thank you. Okay, I'm liking this. So this is my post. I will give it, I'm going to give this one a border and a background as well, but on the home page actually, or maybe inside the app blade in the layout. So I'm going to give background 100 gray. Okay, now everything is gray. Maybe it's too much, but I'm going to leave this right now. I will go into post item, and each post item I'm going to give it PG white. Let's give it also border and rounded. Okay, good. Let's give this one padding 4 maybe. This is my post, and I'm going to give it also shadow. This is my post. I'm going to remove the shadow. Don't need that. Okay, good. We have the user, who made the post, at what time the post has been made, the post content. Okay, let's go into post list, and I'm going to duplicate this and create post 2. I'm going to use a different image. James. Let's give this one James Doe. And in this case, I'm going to provide group as well. So the group will have an ID and group name. Group name, let's give it Laravel developers. Okay. And here we have the post 2 as well. Now we have 2 posts. Each post needs to have also margin bottom of 3. We have 2 posts. And this one has also group information. So I'm gonna display right here next to the user name. I'm gonna display that this user made the post inside that group, and that group needs to be post group name. If the post group exists, so I will grab that, write template, paste inside, and if post group exists, we're going to display that. So this is it. So James made the following post inside Laravel developers, and both James and these Laravel developers are clickable. And on mouse over we see cursor, but I want some reaction as well on mouse over. So on the image, on hover, I will give it ring, maybe blue 400. Does it work? Not sure. Let's give it border, and on hover I'm going to give it border blue 500. Okay, I see that. However, I want to increase that. Border 2. Okay, and I will give also transition all. Okay, now let's give some styles on the mouse over. On hover, we're going to have text underline. Okay, how is the underline? Underline. this underline offset, text decoration, just underline. It's called just underline. On hover, we're going to show underline. Okay, good. We're going to do this underline on group name as well. And we're going to do this underline on read more as well. On hover, we show underline. Okay, good. What about attachments and files? If there are some attachments. In the post list, let's define attachments and how each attachment should look like. We're going to have array list of attachments. Each attachment will have an ID. Let's have a look in the database. Each attachment will have the name, let's say test.png, and each attachment will have type as well. And the type, or we can call this MIME, image/png. And each attachment obviously will have an URL. Some sort of URL. Let's give this one 2, and it's going to be test2 PNG. And we need URLs as well. But the social media websites might also support like videos. So we're going to have different attachments right here. Okay, let me use the same dummy URL we are using in the group list. But in this case, we're going to have larger resolution. Let's give this one 1000 resolution. We have 2 images, and I want to use this attachment and display in the post item. So this is the body section. And after body, we can have attachments section. And finally, we're going to have like and comment section. So let me just write here like and comment. But this is going to be the attachment section. So how we're going to do this? I'm going to iterate over v4 attachment of post attachments. Where's the post coming from? The post is a prop. Yeah, it should have attachment. Actually, let me print attachment. Here we see that. And I just need to check if the post attachment has a type of image, then we're going to render this as an image. So for now, I'm going to define function is image. It accepts an attachment. And we are going to just grab the first part of the MIME type. So const MIME equals attachment MIME split with slash. And I'm going to return true if MIME at 0 to lowercase equals image. Okay, then this is image. Then I'm going to do like this. I'm just going to type an image, provide the source, and it's going to be attachment.url. If isImage attachment returns true. In our case, we're going to have the same images, but we want to show them side by side. So these are the attachments section. Okay, if those attachments are images, basically, we can show as, like, for example, Facebook does it, like a gallery, one image, second image here, third and fourth. If those are normal, regular attachments, we can just show an image and the name, image name, and so on. However, we can show preview all the time. So this is how I will do it. I will use the grid layout for that. So I will give the grid right here and grid columns 2. So we're going to have 2 images. Let's introduce gap 3 as well. Okay, we have 2 images. If there are more, obviously there will be more images. Or I think even, yeah, this is fine. This is fine. Because here we have this read more. The entire height of the post is not that much. After read more, we need some margin bottom of 3. Cool. However, what if the attachment is not an image, and let's say it is Word file? Let me search for what is the MIME type for the word. I think it's called application something, application word. MIME type for Word file. Application MS Word. Okay, we can get that. And that's going to be my document, let's say .docx file. The URL, whatever, we can just type a hash right here. However, the MIME will be application, application MS Word. And in this case, we just need to write the document name. So it is just a file. We don't know what type of file is that. We can obviously support different types of files, but if it's an image, we're gonna handle it and give the preview. If it's video, okay, we can do the preview, but anything else, I will just make it as a not very clear type of file and just write the file name. So in the post item, if it's an image, we display that preview. So here we have these 2 images. However, there will be an else case. If it's not an image, then it's going to be Word file. Well, that should be v-else. So we see Word file right here. So I will display still that Word file, but I will output attachment name. Obviously, I want this size of that to be in the same type. So let me give it grid calls 3. Here we have the attachment. For each attachment, I'm going to give it width of 300 pixel. Is it too much? I'm not sure. 8 of 300 pixel. Then this image will have max width full, max width full. I don't know if that is the correct class. Let's give it max W 100%. Does this go on the full width? No, it doesn't go. Tailwind CSS max width full. Max W full. Why it didn't work? Max width full. Okay, 300 is probably too much. Let's give it 200. Okay, I see. 200 is small. So I will change this into this image. Basically, I want it to be fully stretched. So if I inspect this right now, we see that this is the div and this is the image. There's this second div which overlaps the first one. Look at this. So the total length is 300. So I will not give it fixed width. I will give it fixed height. Let's say 160 pixel fixed height, like this. And the image should have cover, image cover, or image contain. Okay, okay, I'm going to change this into 2, back in 2. Cool. Let's give this one BG BG blue 100. They should have H full. Max width full and max H full as well. What if I change this template and then I will give this height into this image and into this div. So this is grid. This one has 160 pixel height. This one has H full, so let's remove this H full. Okay, and if I give this image cover, does it fill? Close this. Give me a second. I need the Tailwind CSS image cover. Image cover. Okay, let's just search for Tailwind CSS image cover. Object fit. Object cover. It should be object cover. object dash cover. No, it still does not fill the whole section. In ideal case, I wanted to have the aspect ratio 1/1 as well. So let me search for aspect ratio as well. Aspect square. Okay, if I give this one aspect square. Okay, this is something I wanted to achieve. Exactly. Let me search for hero icons. I can install the hero icons, however, I will just grab the file. Where is the file? Is there a file? I don't know. Document. Here's the document. Okay, I will copy the SVG for the document, and I'm gonna paste that SVG here. Okay, let's give this SVG large width and height. Let's put this in the center, flex and flex column. Items center, justify center. And let's give this one color or text gray 500. And this text gray 500 I think can be given to the wrapper as well. Okay, this is something what I wanted to achieve. If I zoom this out on a large screen, not ideal. On a large screen with a very wide screen, basically, the images will be huge and there will be only one image, one post visible on single screen, which is not what I want. Maybe I can define media on this grid calls too. So above large screen we can have grid calls 3 maybe. Okay, not bad. Now we have 3. If I zoom in, now we have 2. If I zoom out, we have just... Okay, yeah, we can have it. And again, you can tweak that CSS part and adjust that. Now we also need to view those images on a full screen probably, or download them. So we're going to add download links for those attachments as well. I will go into hero icons, download. Let's copy this one. Okay. For this type of file, it is clear, but for image, where can I put this download? I cannot put this anywhere because we have directly images iterated. Obviously, I need to wrap this in its own div as well. And then can have the download icon. I will put this download icon inside the other type of files. Here we see this download icon, and I will give this one position absolute, right, let's give it 1, and top 1. And this attachment should have a relative. So here we see the download. Let's increase this right from 1 into 2 and top as well. And we should give it also cursor pointer. Okay, cool. Cool. So now we need this image to be inside here. So let me remove this else. So this is the download icon. We need that. This is the file and file name. This is something we probably don't need. So I will put an image here with the if it's an image. And inside template with else, I will display this file, icon, and the attachment name. Okay, it works in the same way, which is promising. Obviously on smaller screens it is breaking, which we need to fix. But the download icons are there. What I will probably do is just put this in a button, give this button width of 8, maybe 8 of 8, bg black, bg gray 800, rounded, and I will give this position absolute to that button. Okay, so this is my button, and I'm going to give this button as well flex and item center and justify center, and let's give it also text white. Okay, here I have these download buttons. Let's give it text gray 100, not fully white. And I'm going to reduce this into 4 as well, the size of the icon. Okay, so here I have these download icons, which is always visible. And whenever I click on that, it's going to do the download. We will implement this later. However, I'm going to reduce this bg gray to 600. And on hover, let's give it bg gray 800. Or let's increase from 700 to 800. Okay, good enough. Okay, let's implement now like and comment section. Let's grab thumbs up icon, scroll down below, and I'm going to put this thumbs up icon right here, and let's give it text like, and I'm going to search for comment. So this icon, paste here, and we have this comment. Okay, so we have these two buttons, like and comment. I'm going to give this div flex and justify. Actually, I'm going to give this flex and flex 1 to both buttons. Flex 1. And each button should also have flex with gap 1. and items center as well, and padding Y2 and padding X4. Let's give it also justify center. Okay, and I'm going to give this justify center is for both. And I'm going to give also both buttons PG gray 200. Let's give it 100. And on hover, it should have PG gray 200. And there should be gap 2 between these buttons as well. And I'm going to make these buttons also rounded LG. And I'm going to give this attachment section margin bottom of 3 as well. Now, this is good. So we have that information. Read more. Attachments. I want the attachments to be only visible when I mouse over on them. And I also will reduce the size of this attachment. So this is the download, right? Let's give it documents, comment, download. Where is this file? Here it is. 12. Let's give it 12. Okay, that was reduced. And let's put this attachment into small tag, which will naturally make it smaller. And I want the download button to be only visible when I mouse over on this. So I need to remember the group hover. I need to give group to the outer element, which is the attachment. So I will give this one group. And then on group over, what I want to do on each of the items. So by default, this will have opacity 0. And on group hover, I'm going to give it opacity 100. And let's give it also transition all. Let's have a look. Now this is hidden, and on mouse over, we see download on each of them. We have this like and comment sections. I will make these like and comment buttons text gray 800. Okay, so this post section I think is good. That is good. If I start resizing, what did I do? If I start resizing, I want to adjust it, the layout properly. So I will go in the home page. We have this grid calls 12, and each of them has call span. But that should be for the large screens, right? So I will add above large. This is how it should be. Above large, it should have grid calls 12. So this is large, and it's nice. But this is not already large. It looks like this is not large. So what we should do here, we're going to show my group section probably, or first I think we should show this create post section, or maybe this my groups and my friends should be completely hidden. Okay, this is tricky for mobile. Maybe the best will be if we have these my groups and my friends as collapsible sections at the top, and then we will have this create new post. Okay, this is how I will do it. We don't have any kind of padding or margin in the post section, in the post list section. Okay, so far we did great progress. I'm really happy with that. However, we still need to adjust this my groups section. I will go into, let's open group list. Okay, this is my group list. Let's give it BG white and let's see how it looks. So this is my groups. Let's give it also rounded LG and border. Maybe just rounded, not LG. Minor thing, but anyway. Okay, let me do the same thing for following list. Okay. Let's open create post section, and I'm going to give this one also BG white rounded and border. Okay, this one should have margin bottom of 3 as well. And let's give it border, actually rounded LG. I'm going to give this one padding 4. Okay, so there is some padding right here from the home page. Okay, let's see. Okay, not bad. Now, let's give this grid padding of 4. Not bad. Now we go in the group list, and I'm going to give this one padding Y3. This my groups is actually too large, so I will reduce that. This is not stretched on full width, so this is what I want to give. If I give width full. Okay, good. Let's do the same thing for my friends or my followings. Let's call this my followings. Text XL, and the input type text should have width of full and should have padding Y3. I think this is looking good. Let's go into smaller screen. Now we have my groups, then we have post creation section, then we have my posts, and then we have my followings. And the padding is also nicely aligned. I like that part. However, first we're going to have my groups, my followings, and then we're going to have the post on the mobile screen. So we're going to do these through the order, CSS order. So we can do this mobile first approach. So we're going to have groups, we're going to have followings, and then we're going to have posts. But so on mobile, that's going to be good. My groups, my followings, and posts. On desktop, it's not going to be as I want. So on large screens, I can provide order 1, order 2 here, not 2, actually that should be order 3, that should be order 2. On large screens, we're going to see like that. And then on smaller screens, we're going to do like this. This is actually how many pixels? 800 pixels. So this is considered relatively smaller screen because I have a large scaling set on my computer. Okay, I think this is already really nice. I'm happy with that. The only thing, minor thing, is that I will increase the border width of that. Click here to create new post, and it has text gray 500, border gray 300. Maybe we need text gray 300 as well. No, it's too light. 400 on both. No, it should be 200. Okay. Click here to create new post. I click right there, the buttons will appear, and that should turn into rich text field. Okay, clicking on that should open the user profile page. Clicking on that should open the group page. Clicking on that should open the user profile page. Clicking on that should download it, like, comment, and we have everything. And as we checked right now, on mobile, this is looking nice as well. On mobile, obviously, either we need to make these sections collapsible, like my groups and my followings, or we can show scroll. If I go in the group list and I duplicate these two items multiple times, so then this is our group section. Okay, so this is how it looks like on the left side. We're gonna give it some fixed width. So let's give it height of 400 pixel. And let's give it overflow auto. Oh, 400 pixel, is it too much? Let's give it 300 pixel. Okay. Yeah, because right now I have a very small screen that might be even increased, or we can even do this through the whole page. Yeah, the whole page. We can, okay, this is good. This is, yeah, and great idea came to my mind. Okay, we can have separate scrolls on the left side, separate scrolls in the middle, and separate scroll on the right side. So that if you scroll at the very bottom, yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. Actually, let me remove this part. I'm going to make each section on the home page to have 100% height, H full, and let's give each one overflow auto as well. We have that overflow on the body, which we can disable, overflow hidden on the body. but we need to enable now scrolls on each section. I just need to inspect this and play with that. I'm going to move this down. Okay, so we disabled the overflow on the body. There's this up as well. I think we need to disable this overflow on the up level as well. And also we need to reduce the height. So pay attention. So this one, okay, so H full. Let's give H full on the body, because at the moment the body has, if you pay attention right here in this area, it's a 3000 pixel height. So if I give it H full, I think it will still have 3000 pixels. And do we need this H full on HTML as well? H full. Okay, yes. Now giving H full on HTML reduces that into, look at this right here in this area, 288 pixel. Here we have 288 pixel as well. The up, however, has 3000 pixel. So let's find up, actually, that will be, that's going to be, where's that, layouts, authenticated layout. Where is ID equals up? Is it here? No, it is not here. Let's search for under resources up with the word. Okay, where is this up coming from? That is probably inertia.js. Inertia.js thing. Okay, just to make it fixed, I will give up 800%. Now this one has 800%. Then there is child, this one, which still has this 3000 pixel. This is already home page. So let's open home page, and I'm going to give it H of 100, H full actually. And now it started working. Now we have separate scrolls on the left side, separate scroll here, and separate scroll here if I inspect this. Okay, this is cool. However, I will fix that my groups and search area, and then make these only groups part scrollable. So, okay, this one has overflow auto. I'm going to remove this overflow auto from here and from here as well. Then this should have overflow hidden, or it doesn't need, I think, overflow hidden. Let's just give this one overflow auto. Not working. H2 text, and then we have overflow auto. Let me inspect this and have a look. What is the height? So we have H full. Why it doesn't show me the height of that section? Okay, let me give this overflow hidden and also flex and flex call. And I'm gonna give this one flex 1 and overflow auto. That should work. No? So basically I want that section to have full height. It has. Then we have this div which has overflow hidden, but it doesn't have full height, isn't it? This one doesn't have full height. This one should have h full as well. Why it does not show me the height of that element? That one has huge height. Look at this. It has a 3000 pixel height, which tells me that this one has very large height, even though this one has 200 pixel height. This one probably has very large height. Let me actually, so this one is the outer one, h full. If I give this one h 100 pixel, what will happen? Okay, let's give it h 200 pixel. Now we see scroll. We see scroll exactly as I expect. However, whenever I give this one h full, that goes on a full width. That's always tricky. That's always tricky, but I know it's doable. And this is what I want to do. So overflow hidden needs to be added on those elements. Which one is necessary actually? Okay, not this one, but this one. It's overflow hidden. And now there's separate scroll section on this area, but it is not how it should be. Group list. Okay, let's remove this flex one. Maybe let's remove this flex and flex call as well. No, it actually needs this flex. And again, the height is not as it should be. I have a feeling that this is very large in height. This is also very large in height. That's why it doesn't work. Okay, I think I'm spending time not very effectively right now, because on mobile screen this should still have some fixed width. So I will make it easier, and I will give this one height of something like 300 pixel, let's say. And overflow hidden. And actually we need this flex and flex column and flex one here as well. But this one should have like 300 pixel. Okay. And we can increase that 300, by the way. And we need to do the same thing on the right side. But I will take a quick break right now. Now, let's do the same thing on the right side for my following section. Let's go to, where is this following list? And let's actually have a look what we did for the group list. So we added fixed height, overflow hidden, flex, and flex call. So let's add the same thing here. And we gave this overflow auto and flex 1 to the wrapper of this. So this is the wrapper. Okay, cool. And let's go on the home page as well. And we need to give this overflow hidden here. And yeah, that should work. But we don't have that much users, so we need to duplicate this. Okay, here we go. So we see the scroll. Just I think that we need to make a margin between this input field and this section. So I will. This one has this padding 8, padding Y8. Let me remove this padding Y8. Or maybe reduce it, padding Y2, and let's give it margin top of 3. Okay, here we go. And let's do the same thing for group list. Okay, cool. What if we completely remove this padding? Because there is this, look at this on this mouse over, there's some distance between the top edge of the scroll area. Pay attention right here. Some distance. And I think they should be aligned properly, like this. Like, I think this is fine. Let's provide true here. You don't have any join, you are not joined to any groups. So this is something which needs to have, in my opinion, some padding and some vertical and horizontal padding. So I will give it padding 3. Okay, let it be like this. You aren't joined to any groups. Okay, cool. Let's do the same thing on the following list. What did we do? Just padding. Okay. We're going to give a padding here. Padding 3. And this one does not need padding at all. And if true, okay, you don't have friends yet. Text center. It's there. Is it in the center? I don't think so. I don't think that this is in the center. Okay, there's this overflow auto. Overflow auto. Where's that coming from? Let's go to the home page. Overflow hidden. I added this overflow hidden on this create post, so that should be here. But still, well, this one has flex and text center. Does it need flex? Let's go to group list. So this one doesn't have, or it has flex. I think it doesn't need flex, so we can remove this flex. It is still in the center, and we should do the same thing here, remove flex, and now this is, I think, perfectly in the center. Yes, exactly. And just like this, we have that. Let's change this into false. Okay. Does it have fixed height? Yes, it has some fixed height. it has, what I want is actually when there's much smaller screen, I want this to be shrinked as well. And I know this is possible, just I don't want to spend too much time on fixing this thing. So maybe if I just provide max height 400 pixel on this group list, and let's change this into false, then what happens? Okay, it does not shrink, but I want it to be shrinked. Okay, maybe I get back to this a little bit later and fix the things, but for now we have fixed height, and we need the scroll section in the post section. Scroll, yeah, we need scroll in the post section. So I will go in the post list, and this one should have overflow auto. Okay, it's not working. Well, let's see. What's the height of that? It's 600 pixel is the height. I think it's too much. We should give the similar classes what we gave into group list. So what we gave it, okay, we gave it fixed height 400 pixel, but we cannot do this here. So we're gonna give this h full. So we're giving it full height. Okay, but as soon as I give it full height, then something unexpected is happening, because it takes full height, I mean 100%, and it takes the 100% of its parent. Okay, and because this one has also this create new post section, that h full goes outside. So the end of that section is basically somewhere right here. So whatever is the height of this create new post section, there is the same height content below this. So what I think we should do is on the home page, this one should have flex and flex column. Then here we're gonna have flex 1. So we have this create post and post list, and the post list has flex 1. Maybe we can give this flex 1 here as well. Okay, this is exactly as I expected. So now if I resize the screen, we can see that the top is always fixed, that content basically moves, and I wanted something similar here. Why I cannot do it? I can do it. So we have this overflow auto. Let's go to the home page. What we did, we gave this flex and flex column. Okay, but in our case, we need flex and flex column here because this should be fixed, this should be scrollable. So this is fixed and this is scrollable. Okay, cool. What we need to do here is that this should be fixed and this should be scrollable. So this group list should have height h full, let's give it h full, and it has flex and flex column. Okay, then we have these my groups, we have text field and flex 1. This one also has overflow hidden. Okay, that should give us the same thing, isn't it? It is actually giving us the same thing. But I think I tried the same thing previously, it didn't work. So now this is working. And let's do the same thing for following list. We're going to give this full height. Then we have flex and flex column. and flex 1 here with overflow auto. And this is exactly as I expected. Cool, we have these scrollable sections. If I zoom out, we can see that this is still on full height, and we have separate scrolls for my following, separate scroll for my groups, and separate scroll for the post section. Even this create post is fixed. The only thing in question is how it's going to look on the mobile screens. If I go to the mobile screen, okay, so this is how we have it. And I think on mobile, we're going to give this fixed height. Okay. So we have this H full, which I believe should be on large screen sizes, and on normal, on like by default, we're going to have this 300 pixel maybe on following list. Okay, 300 is too small, maybe 400 pixel. Okay, we gave it 400 pixel, overflow hidden, flex column. And then we have flex 1 here with overflow auto. What we can do is just make sure this one has H full on large screens. So if I collapse, we see as we should see. However, on small screens, we can give this one height of 300 pixel. However, above large screens, we're going to give this height H auto. This is how I think it should be. This is following list. Let's check the following list. What's going on? Okay. This is the 300 pixel height. Okay, this one has flex 1, which again should be on large screens. Now this is on 300 pixel. Height is 300 pixel. However, not the whole thing is visible. Okay, in this case, entire body needs to become scrollable again. Okay, that's the problem. If I open this up blade and we gave it H full, but that should be on large screens, H full. Here again, that should be on large screens. Even overflow hidden should be on large screens. Okay, here we go. Now entire page is scrollable on small screens. If I move on the large screen, we see as it was working before. Okay, where is this? Here we go. My followings, we have this fixed height, which looks good. Go to following list. Let me actually undo a few things here. Okay, let's try this one. I think that works as well. Okay, that works as well. Here we have this inner scroll, and we're gonna give the same thing on post list. Not post list, but group list. Here. Cool. Okay, my groups. Then we have my followings. And then we have this create new post. However, as we mentioned, I'm going to make these my groups and my followings as collapsible sections. Okay, so to make it collapsible, we're going to find how we have this read more. So this is actually a disclosure. So I'm going to copy this disclosure and go into group list. Okay, let me paste this here, this disclosure. And what do we have? This is the content. The content in our case is that part. I don't want to have duplicated content, rendering content. So I can just write to display this only on small screens and the rest on the large screens. We can do that as well. However, I wanted to be done slightly differently. But let me actually try the following. Content goes here. Well, the content goes here, should be inside disclosure panel. Okay, good. And we have this disclosure button, which should be at the top. And we're going to give this title my groups. Let's remove it. Okay, let's have a look. We have my groups. It expands and collapses. Let's give this text left. Okay, now I'm thinking how we can do that so that it should be collapsible, but okay, if I provide static, so this one had this static possibility. Okay, if I make this static, it is always visible, it's going to be always there. And this is the content. The static, it should become static based on the width, of the browser. So here are two ways what just came to my mind. So first is to have that content duplicated, like this search inputs, basically everything. So the search input and that part to be duplicated, and this should go here. Actually, I can do this. So I will copy that, I will paste this here. Now we have it duplicated twice, and I'm gonna do the following. So this disclosure, let's give it class, should only be visible. It should have like a display block by default, but above large screens it should have hidden. It should be hidden. We're in the group list. Okay, there's some sort of error. It doesn't accept class, I think. It doesn't accept a class. It does not. I need to find how I can pass the class to this disclosure if I search for class. Okay, there are classes on the disclosure icon, disclosure button. So we have some transitions as well, which makes probably this with scale or some easy note transition. That's nice. Is there any possibility to add some CSS class to this disclosure? No. Okay, if there is no such possibility, I will do it in this way. I will create new div with that class, and I will put my disclosure inside that div. Easy solution. Okay, so this gives me the guarantee that test. Is it test visible on small screens? Yes, we see that test. But I don't see this disclosure. Is this disclosure? No. Yeah, because I made it static. That's the reason. Okay. This is it. I'm going to make another div that should be hidden by default, but above large, we're going to give it display block. So now I have the same content two times. One is inside this collapsible disclosure area and one is static. And if I just reload, this is actually collapsed, but I want it to be open, and also I want some scrolling section to be fixed as well. Okay, right now, because of this disclosure, I think one extra div element is introduced. Actually, it is that one. Okay, I'm gonna give this one overflow hidden, age full, or height, and flex column. So I have to duplicate the same thing. I mean, it is possible. Definitely it is possible to achieve the same thing. So look at this, like the scroll is lost. This is what I'm trying to explain and trying to fix. And if we just give this overflow auto, not auto, but hidden, and give it flex and flex column, and probably age full, that should work. It doesn't work. Okay, I think I'm spending too much time, but because I just started, I want to make it working. I want to finish this. So I will do in this way. Let me undo the things. No, actually, let me redo again, back. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this on the mobile. So here, how I am going to do that. This H300 pixel, I'm going to remove it from here. Okay, so on full width, it should be working. So this one should have a LGH full. Overflow hidden, flex column. This flex and flex column should be also given on large screens. Okay, again, I'm going to undo the things. I'm going to just make sure to go to this table version and then go from there, because I just screw up something. Let's go back. Come on. Okay, let's check this. Okay, this is good. So this is working. Now, what I'm going to do, if I open the developer tools, we have small screen and we have this entire scroll section. If I add this H 400 pixel, we see that scroll, inner scroll, and hold on. Okay. We are in the group list area. So this H400, if I remove that, we don't see that scroll. If I add this into here, H400 pixel, in this case, we are going to remove flex 1. Actually, I'm going to make this flex 1 on large screens. Okay, that works. And this 400 should be reduced into 200 probably. Okay, and we see this scrollable section. Okay, nice. If I reduce the height of that into 100 pixel, we see that the entire white area has been reduced. So now I want this part to be duplicated, for one for static and second for disclosure. So let me just grab this post item disclosure and I'm gonna paste this here. Inside disclosure panel, we're gonna have that content. Then we have the disclosure button, which I will, inside which I will put these my groups. Okay. Now we see these my groups twice. Now I'm going to put this in its own div, and that div will have, because this one has flex and flex column, I'm going to give this div flex 1. Let's paste this disclosure inside. However, that div should be visible by default but hidden on large screens. And that div should be hidden by default and it should be visible on large screens. Now let's see. So this is collapsed. I click, it expands. And this should be removed. And let's remove this hover and underline. Okay. There's this margin bottom, which I can remove. Okay, this margin bottom is actually necessary to create some distance between the input type text and the H2. However, when it is collapsed, it is not necessary. So probably I should give this margin top 4 on the text input. Okay, and here's the example of this chevron icon. We have this UI open. Okay, I will grab this class. Actually, before I grab the class, let me search for chevron. Which chevron is it using? Chevron right icon. So we can use this chevron right. And where is it inserted? It is inside this disclosure button. I'm gonna put this here, and then we can grab this class, UI open, whatever. Here we have UI open, rotate, and transform. Let's check. Okay, it is right here. Maybe we need here, because we have span, actually they are next to each other. However, if I wrap these two things in a div, and I'm going to give this div flex with justify between and item center, this is how it's going to work. This is the div. Okay, this is the button. The button is not stretched on full width. So what if I give it W full? Cool. But this chevron doesn't rotate. This UI open, does it actually work? I am not sure. However, I can use this open. We have this open. And when it is open, let's assign class. So when it is open, we're gonna add the class rotate 90, otherwise, and transform. Otherwise, we're gonna have empty classes. And let's just remove these two things. Let's just check. Okay, this is it. And we can give this transition all as well to have that animation of rotation. Now pay attention. So we have that statically there. However, it has this fixed height, which is something I don't want. So this is for large screens. And this one should have flex 1. Flex 1, but it should also have flex and flex column. It should also have overflow hidden. And we need to still inspect and have a look why it's not working. Why it doesn't fill the full height? So we broke something. This one has H 200 pixel. Okay, here we go. So this one has H 200 pixel, which we can remove. Because this entire div is visible on large screens, we can just give this one flex 1 with overflow auto. But why it doesn't work? There's one extra div. Okay, this one has a height of 2,900 if you pay attention. What's the height? This one, we don't know how much height this has. So what I will do is just remove this flex and flex column, and I'm gonna give both h full, and I'm gonna give this one h full as well. And I think both also needs overflow hidden. Actually, not this one. Maybe this h full also doesn't need the above one because this is for the mobile. This one needs h full, overflow hidden, flex and flex column. We have overflow hidden here as well. Come on. So if this one has correct height, flex column. This is the issue. It has LG block. It should be LG flex and flex column. Here we go. Okay, now this is correct. And if I open the developer tools and go to the mobile, we have that collapsed, which we can open and collapse. So we have this content duplicated. This is the downside of all of that. But I think because we are using vue.js, we can fix that simply by moving that into its own component. So this, and even maybe this text input field, this both can be moved into its own component, and only this my group's title will be duplicated. Okay, so we have this group list, and let me actually create a new component, and I'm going to call it group list items. Group list items with the composition API. Let's grab this group list items. We need here, and we need group list items here as well. And let's paste the template. The search keyword is something which is necessary in the group list items, so I will describe it here. Ref was automatically imported, text input group item was automatically imported in these group list items, and they are not necessary here anymore. Okay, expand collapse works, inner scroll works. If you go on the full screen, we see that part as well. And right now we don't have duplicated content in this list group. Only this my group's text is duplicated here. And here. And this one has margin bottom as well, which I think should be removed, because this input has the margin top right now. Okay, and we need to do something similar for the my followings. if I go in the following list and open group list, what did we do? Following list. Okay, let's first create a component, following list items. Following list items with a composition API. Okay, and we are gonna get this part will be following list items. Following list items. Let's paste here, and I'm gonna define the search keyword as well. This is group list items, excuse me. From the following list, we're gonna grab that search keyword and go into following list items and define here. And in the following list, we can remove this text input ref and following item. Okay, so we have this following list almost ready. Actually, no, not ready, but we have just created the following list items reusable component. But if we have a look in this group list, now I'm gonna grab the CSS classes and paste here. Then I'm gonna grab everything and paste here. Instead of my groups, we're gonna have my followings, and instead of group list items, we're gonna have following list items. Everything else can be the same. So now we see my groups and my followings, and we can expand them and have a look. This one needs some more additional CSS. If we go in the group list items, we have this H200 pixel. So I'm going to grab these CSS classes as well in the following list items and simply replace them. And the search needs to have margin top of 3. And just like this, we have defined responsive UI for our social media website. And right now, I am happy with the result. We spent much more time than I anticipated, but I think this is looking good. Now, let's comment everything what we changed, what we added. There are a lot of changes actually, and let me group these by directory so that I know in which directories I made most of the changes. So I create a lot of components, and I changed this app CSS as well, slightly. And inside app blade, I added HTML CSS classes to the HTML element, and I installed headless UI for vue.js as well. And what did I do? I just renamed the home URL into dashboard. Okay, cool. And group item, here we have some unused components, which I used it previously, but then I moved into another component, like this group item. If I search it, it is not used anywhere in this particular file. So I'd rather remove them and not to commit them. Just like this. Okay, so everything, basically, if I expand, everything serves the same idea, define the social media website homepage. So let's give it a message, define website home page. I'm going to click on commit. 16 files have been committed, and I'm going to push now everything, but I think I don't have yet remote defined, so I will just leave it as it is. Okay, let's open the website, and I think what we are missing, a big part, is the header, the navbar, from which we will be able to log out. And maybe in the future, if we implement to have these notifications, we're going to have kind of bell icon here. Click on the notifications, it will give us the notifications about who followed us, who posted new posts in the groups, or things like that. Okay, basically we need to define this navbar, and I think the Laravel Breeze comes with the navbar. And if we go in the view layouts, authenticated layout, here's the navbar. But do we use this authenticated layout? It seems like we don't use this authenticated layout at the moment. If I search inside the whole project, authenticated layout, it is used in the profile edit section, which has the /profile URL. If I access this /profile, then I got this navbar, and I want the same navbar on the home page. Okay, so what I will do is just go to the home page and wrap everything into authenticated layout, just like it is in the edit. And there are some of the files which are in the build, public build assets, which is not what I want. Actually, let me check one thing. Git status. Okay, yeah, this build folder is actually excluded from the Git, and that's why when I type git status I don't see anything there. But those are all build files. What I can do is probably simply delete the entire build folder. Let me check in the git ignore one last thing. If I search for public build, yes, entire build folder is actually excluded from the Git. And when I search for this authenticated layout, I find several things from this build folder, and it confuses me because I only want to find the actual files in my source code. So what I will do is just go into public build and just delete that. Good. Now I will search this authenticated layout and I'll see only one part. This is edit view, and here it is. So authenticated layout, we have this head, and then we have this authenticated layout, and we have this template named header slot here for the title. This is actually it, which I think we don't need. And yeah, everything else is the content. So let's do like this. I will go on the home page and I will use this authenticated layout and wrap my div inside there. I will format the code as well, and let's save and access to the home page, and this is it. However, we don't have that scroll anymore. We lost that scroll because we introduced a new element in our hierarchy of HTML elements, basically. Okay. Yeah, we need to definitely fix this scroll area, but right now I'm thinking, do we need a dashboard menu item here? Maybe not. This logo should do the same thing. So if I go in the authenticated layout and find this dashboard, which is responsive nav link and active road current dashboard. Okay, so that basically gets active if the road current equals to the dashboard. If I zoom out slightly. Okay, I need to remove that completely. That should be gone. It is not gone. Probably it was for responsive. Yes, it was for mobile. If I scroll up, here's the navigation links. Here we have this logo. And I think that navigation links had the same type of CSS, not the CSS, but the active property. If I just remove that, it should be gone. Okay, good. Now let me inspect this. And let me zoom out slightly so that I can work on this CSS part. Let's observe. There's now new HTML element introduced in this whole hierarchy. This is one div. So we had that 800% on the body. Min H screen. Then we have this nav. Okay, what we want probably is to give overflow hidden on this one, and let's give it 800%. And then on this div as well, we're gonna give it overflow hidden. It doesn't seem to be working, probably because we also need to give this one. So this is the main div right now, which has nav and this main area. Okay, so we're going to give this one display flex and flex direction column. Okay, and then we have this nav area and this main area, to which I'm going to give flex 1 and overflow hidden as well. But there is another div inside there, which already has 800%. This is my grid, which I defined in the home. This is it. Okay, I'm thinking how to simplify my structure. This should also have overflow hidden, I think, but it doesn't change the picture. The height of that element is actually 3000. If you pay attention, let's move actually this at the very bottom and we can zoom in. Okay, so the height of that element is like 3000. Okay, this is too much. This one has also 3000, even though this one has mean height. It should have height. 800%. Okay, now it has a height of 267 pixel. We have this nav, we have this main, which still has 3000 pixel. Overflow hidden. Now we're talking. Okay, this is exactly what I expected. Now if we go in this authenticated layout, we observe it. We have this one div and another div. I think we can remove this completely, okay? We can remove that. And this one has min H screen, but I would give it H100 and overflow hidden. Then inside there, it should also have flex and flex column. There we have this nav and we have this main, which should have flex 1 and overflow hidden. Now let's see, flex column or flex col. Okay, we are almost there. Overflow hidden, H1. Let's inspect it and have a look. So this one has H100. No, it is not H100, it is H full. H full is there, overflow hidden is there. So this one has actually height 200 pixels, which is correct. Then we have this nav, and we have this main. This main also has correct height. Maybe it is working. Yeah, it is actually working. Reload the page, and here we go. Okay, cool. This gives us possibility to have a look at our profile page and to do the logout as well. Now, if we access the home page, we are redirected to the login page. We need to either create an account or log in. Once we log in, we are on the home page. And I think this is correct.